Have you ever wished you could just find the off switch for your brain, even for a little bit? You know that constant chatter, right? Replaying conversations from yesterday, worrying about tomorrow. Well, today we're diving into a really powerful idea called eternal mindfulness. It's this incredible concept that kind of sits at the crossroads of modern psychology and some really ancient wisdom. And it's all about helping you completely change the relationship you have with your own mind. So let's start with a feeling that I'm pretty sure we all know a little too well. That feeling of being totally trapped by a mind that's just always racing. A mind that just won't quit, constantly dragging you back to the past or slingshotting you into the future. I mean, this metaphor is just perfect, isn't it? That feeling of being tumbled around and around by your own thoughts and emotions, with absolutely no way to find a still point. It is exhausting. But what if the secret wasn't about stopping the machine at all? What if it was about realizing you were never actually inside it to begin with? And that, right there, brings us to the very heart of this whole idea. It's a simple, but honestly, a truly profound shift in how you see things. It's just a tiny change in a single belief about yourself that can literally transform your entire inner world. Okay, so this is the absolute game changer laid out right here. See, most of us, without even realizing it, live our entire lives in that left column. An angry thought pops up, so I am angry. A thought about fear shows up, and suddenly I am afraid. We completely fuse with the thought. The shift, the whole practice, is just moving over to the right column. It's realizing that you are not the thought itself, but you're the awareness, the conscious open space in which that thought is happening. So this is what eternal mindfulness is all about. It's this active, moment-to-moment practice of shifting that identity. So instead of being the leaf that's getting tossed around in the wind of your thinking, you become the calm, wide-open space through which that wind is blowing. So how do we actually start creating that space? Well, the very first step is to escape a trap that we all fall into, probably dozens of times a day, the mental time machine. You see, our brains are actually wired to do this, to learn from what happened and to plan for what's coming. But that amazing feature is also what creates so much of our stress, because we're constantly living in a mental replay of old events or a dress rehearsal for future ones. Just think about that for a second. When you cringe at something you said last year, you're not actually in the past. You are experiencing a memory, which is just a little bundle of thoughts and feelings. And that entire experience is happening right here in this present moment. And it is the exact same thing for the future. When you're feeling anxious about a big meeting next week, you haven't time traveled. You're experiencing an active imagination, a projection, and it's only happening now. Here's the kicker. Everything you have ever experienced or ever will experience can only happen now. And this is the incredible payoff, you guys. When you really truly let that sink in, your brain can finally get off that hamster wheel. It can stop that frantic, totally exhausting loop of what if this and if only that, and just be here. And these effects are not just in your head, they're real and tangible. When you stop that mental time traveling, you literally cut off the fuel supply for regret and anxiety. I mean, they can't exist without the past and the future, right? And the science actually shows this has a physical benefit too. We see a measurable drop in the stress hormone, cortisol, just by grounding yourself in the now. Okay, so we've got it. Everything happens in the now. But the next question is, who is the you that's experiencing all this? Well, this brings us to the second pillar of eternal mindfulness, and it's captured in this beautiful, beautiful metaphor. You are the sky, not the weather. You know, this idea of stepping back and just watching, it's not just some philosophical mumbo-jumbo. It actually has a clinical name in psychology. It's called decentering. It might sound technical, but it's really just the skill of noticing your thoughts as they pass by, kind of like clouds in the sky. Instead of getting swept up and totally lost inside them, you become the witness, the observer. So let's really lean into this metaphor for a second. I want you to just imagine right now that your fundamental awareness, that core part of you that is always there, always watching, is a vast, open, completely endless sky. And this right here is the heart of it all. Your thoughts, your emotions, your moods, they're just the weather. You might have a storm of anger roll in, or a thick fog of sadness, or a bright burst of pure joy. They all come and they all go. But they can never, ever harm the sky. The sky, your core awareness, is always there, vast and totally untouched. This all sounds pretty great in theory, right? But the most exciting part is that we can actually put this into practice in a really simple, tangible way. And the source material gives us this awesome little exercise to do just that. It's called the window pane technique, and here's how it works. First, just take a difficult or nagging thought and picture it like a single smudge on a huge pane of glass. For a moment, you're just looking at the smudge. Okay, now deliberately shift your focus. Instead of staring at the smudge, try to look through it to the vast, clear space on the other side. Then comes this little aha moment where you realize, wow, the space I'm looking into is infinitely bigger and more fundamental than that tiny little smudge. And finally, you just let your attention rest in that vast open space, allowing the smudge to just be there without grabbing all your focus. Let's just let that final instruction sink in for a moment. Rest in the space, not the smudge. That one sentence captures the entire practice, doesn't it? It's just this powerful reminder that you always have a choice of where to place your attention, on the fleeting thought or on the boundless awareness that's holding it. And that really just leaves us with a final question to take with you. How would your reactions to stress, or your difficult conversations, or even your moments of pure joy, how would they all start to change if you truly felt like you were the sky and not the passing storm? Something to think about.